Details. Details provide essential answers. How does this joint function? How do we safeguard against water intrusion? How do we ensure the stability of this structure? Details furnish the roadmap for achieving precise architectural and structural design. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we will explore the diverse realm of details and delve into their implementation in Revit. Let's get straight to it. So to begin with, I start a new project in Revit with an architectural template. Then I click OK. So I'm going to be modeling a box, right? So the first thing that I'll do is I'll go to components and I'll go to model in place. Then I'll pick generic model. So after picking generic model, I now pick my plane to be like level 0. Then I start with my box. I start with like 2 rectangles for the 2 opposite sides of the box. Then I check in 3D to see if they are the height I want them to be. If not, I make adjustments to the height as I did. Then now let's go to the top of the box. So I create the top of the box, I copy the profile down. Then I check also in 3D and align them to the surfaces. Now we are pretty much done with the box. I just have to do the front of the box. So I still go to generic model in place, just like the way I did the first one. I draw a profile, then I copy it as well, then I send it to wireframe to see what I'm working with. Then I check the thickness and copy them to make sure the surfaces are flashing. So after I'm done with this, the next thing I do is I take a shot. After taking a shot, I can't really see, so I drag open the crop view to see what I'm working with. So now I can see the box and I adjust the box to the angle I would like it to be. I think this is okay. Yeah, this is fine, Then the next thing I do is I turn on the shadow. Shadow makes the thing more 3-dimensional. Shadow is too thick, so what I do is I reduce the shade of the shadow. So after which I create a new sheet. After creating a new sheet, I don't need all these annotations on it, so I double click on the sheet. Then I delete all these annotations from the sheet. After deleting these annotations, I go to load into project. I load the sheet into the project, then override existing version. Then I close the sheet tab. No, don't save it. So after this, I then drag the 3D shots I just took. I drag it onto the sheet. Now, as I drop it, we can see that the thing is too small. So what do? I change the size of the thing by going to crop view, then changing this to 1000. That is way better. Yeah, that's how I wanted it to be. So now that is big, and let me just position it somewhere in the middle, then put it out here. Yeah, I don't want to waste too much time on the box because that's not what we are doing. Today I'm just teaching you how to go about architectural details. So now that I have this, let's now detail the joints, right? So we go back to the view, and the first thing I want to do is I want to hide this. So right click, hide elements. After hiding the element, and I'll rotate it to a view that will be convenient for what I want to do. Yeah, this is okay, this is perfect. After which I now model some detail elements. So what you should be doing is you should be modeling detail elements. It's very necessary. You have to model detail elements. So I now go to generic model in place. Then I want to model some corner brackets, right? So I'm just going to model some corner brackets into this side of my box. Yeah. Okay, so now that I'm done with the corner brackets, I need to copy it to the other side. You realize that sometimes when you want to copy, it doesn't allow you to copy. So what you can do is you can uncheck the constraints over there, and after that you can copy to any direction that you want to copy to. So now I need to adjust the size of these corner brackets, make sure that, you know, they are to the right size. Okay, that seems fine. Then when I go back to my 3D view, this is how it looks like. Yeah, it's looking amazing already. So now we have to do override graphics. So you right click, go to override graphics, go to by element. Then for the foreground, it depends on what you do. Normally I'll go for solid color, so I think I'll pick solid color. I'll pick solid color. Then I don't know, it depends on the color you want. So based on the color you want your whatever to be, you choose that color you buy. You should always know that the colors you pick shouldn't be so similar as to be very difficult to differentiate between one element and the other. So I'll just pick right colors for now. This green is too much. Yeah, this is okay. Yeah, this seems fine. A little touch here and there. Yeah, this is perfect. Yeah, so you can see that there's a very clear distinction between all the colors. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import a 3D boat, right? Import a 3D boat. You can download this on revitcity.com. You can get like detail elements in revitcity.com. So you could go to revitcity.com and just type a 3D boat. You get a 3D boat in Revit City. So with this, I just changed the thing to wireframe so that I can have a good idea of where my corner brackets are. Then I'm just going to place all the 4 bolts over there. Yeah, like that. That's good, that's good. Now if I want, I could also override the bolt so that the color can also be distinct. Now if I want to do it again, when I go to override graphics, since I don't want to do it for every single bolt, I just go to override by category, then it changes everything. I don't think I want to add any other thing. So what's the next thing? I go back to my sheet where I place a 3D view, and now that I'm here, I can annotate it. I just go to text, then I annotate the various elements that I have. So for instance, steel bolts for this one. Then also you can change the properties of the text if it's too small. So you just have to go to edit type and change the text size. You can also change the text color. You see all those in the edit type dialog box. Now, for the second type of detail, I'm going to have to take a section, right? That's a sectional detail. So for that, I take a section through whatever that I want to detail. You should take your sections very well and make sure that they pass through what you want to show in your detail. So over here, you can see the 3D bolts very clearly. in the corner brackets. Actually, they're not showing very well, so I'll just hide them with the EH, and then I'll import a detail elements. Normally these things are 2D, they are two-dimensional, so they just exist in the view, but they actually don't exist in 3-dimension, right? So we could just use them in the view. So I'll just drag this bolt into Revit, then I'll just put it inside like that. Now the next thing is to copy this like that. Now actually I'm not happy with the profile of this, so I'm just going to change the profile. So I'll just delete all the rest, and then I'll just copy this to the four corners. Now shift this a little bit to the right, change the dimension, shift this a little bit. That's way better. Then now I'll just copy the whole bolt thing to the four corners. Yeah, that's fine. You can also override, except when you're doing override, you should choose cut pattern instead of foreground or background. Yeah, so cut pattern, then solid fill. Then you choose the color of your choice. Now the scale of this one seems too small, so I'll just change it to 1:2. That's bigger and visible. Then after this, I just annotate it just like the way I annotated the first one. Now from the 3D, you can see that the other corner bracket is gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this corner bracket to that side. So the second type of detail is the blown up detail, just as you can see over here. Now let's try that one. For that one, we need to select this and then we need to displace it. So if you look up there, there's an icon that says displace. When you press on it, it gives you this move thing that you can move the various parts. So we just displace all the elements that we have. We displace the screws. Now you realize that for this, we can't really displace it separately because we model this as one element. So what we can do is to actually move it manually. So we move the top like that, and we move the down like that. And also, one thing that you could do is add a path to it. So when you select the elements and you click on path, you could just click the individual elements to add paths to them, which is like broken lines, like you can see. After which, we could select everything, then go to filter, then uncheck everything except the path. Then I override graphics. I normally make it red with a line width of 4. That's a blown up kind of detail. You could also blow up the section, but you can't blow up 2D elements. You have to move them manually. Then after which you draw the displacement lines manually with a detail line. If you want to draw a detail line, all you do is you type DL. Then after typing DL, you could change the property of the line. You could change the line style or the line type to broken lines. You could override it and make it red. Thank you very much, and if this tutorial was helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.